Welcome back. Update. First update. Duo filler works perfectly, just using one side. As soon as I try and do two lots at once, I don't know. So I think needs some tinkering, but absolutely perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect. What I did notice on the right hand side a couple of times were, I know exactly the weight needed in order to ensure, come on you bastard, for God's sake, ensure that people are getting at least their 440 millilitres, and on the right hand side they weren't. So I don't know, but I've done 8 batches now to test it. It's fine, this is fine, this needs a little bit of tweaking down here every now and then. I've put some copper slip on there just to, I don't know, stop it making squealy noises. There's only one time I like to hear squealy noises, and that's not one of those times. Otherwise, fine. There are several parameters that I have found need changing for different styles of beer. I'll show you in a bit what I've been doing with those. But the parameters are the serving pressure, if you like, between here and here. Keeping it all cold, so if it's all wrapped in insulation. Ball lock that can either go on top of a keg or on top of a corny. You know, can go on top of an S-type connector at a later date if needs be, and gas in, and the gas is set, the pressure of the gas is set here because it needs to be much lower than the serving pressure. I've also found, I mean, this is the carbonation chart I've been using for ages, and I've been carbing it around about 1 degree Celsius centigrade, and I've upped the carbonation from 264 to sometimes 285, or on one of them 296, just overnight. Left them like that overnight just to boost up the carbonation inside the beers that I've been kegging, and just about getting it right, I think, with a nice bit of foam, so you cap on foam before seaming it. So I'm quite happy. So what have I done? This is what I have done. I've made some packs up, 10 packs of samples. So when I started playing with the canning line, I suppose we should call it, I was a bit more hesitant to overly commit myself, so I only did, I think I did about 15 of these, and yeah, etc. So once I had mucked around with the settings and the parameters a little bit more, I got a little bit more confident. So this is current can stock. I have bitten the bullet and sent out 6 sample packs with a little card inside explaining that these are really for testing the canning, rather than me saying these are excellent beers. They're pretty good beers, but I wanted to go through a range of different styles. So there's the Blackberry Vice from the Meadow, made with the blackberries from the Meadow, where I walk Marley. You'll have seen that in some of the videos. I've got 2 working titles. Barry is a working title for pails. It's to get a pail that I'm going to put on the bar called Barry. Those who've read Pete Brown's Hops and Glory will probably know why. This is the second iteration of the Lawless Lager. Again, it's to test the style, the canning of the style. Barney's, this is the one, this third attempt at this particular one, working title. It's made with a Sussex 1 yeast that Richard Williams, Do's Brews, sent. Rhubarby, which I suppose is a dipper. It's not vegan, but it is quite strong, 8.9%. And then a sort of mixed fermentation, the lemon tart, which was with some of the yeast from one of the lambics, which went off like a rocket, but didn't chew up all of the sugars, definitely made it sour. So I finished it off with USO5 and rested it on just like lemon peel, ground up lemon peel and some lemon zest and whatever. So it's all right, but I wanted more to test the canning for these different styles. So that was that. I may indeed do some little sample packs, put them on the website, as we're now allowed to sell them. Yeah, trying to go for plastic free, so I bought this card or paper tape that you then wet with this, and that's been a learning journey in its own right. But yeah, I might make some packs up. What else? Got the little pilot kit over here ready to knock a few brews out this week. There will be 2 specifically designed for canning, so they're only going to be about 50 litre brews, so it'll be about 120 cans maybe. But also this morning we had a delivery of 20 litre polykegs, which were on sort of offer, clearance offer, from, I can't remember where, Harry Mason, Birmingham. This is how they arrived. The pallet had collapsed in the back of the van. Lovely, thank you. But I think that will be enough to keep me going for a while. I don't know, Andy might want some or whatever. Still got all those over there, those 30 litre ones, but these ones will be more useful for me. So we're getting there, we're getting building up. I've always thought that some home brewers are far better than many commercial brewers, and that's because I'm not saying better than all commercial brewers, but a lot of home brewers, I mean, you only need to look at some of the videos from people like Richard Williams, etc., and you'll very soon realise that they're taking the hobby to the extremes of perfection. And at this level, or even at that level with the original kit, the potential for disaster is mitigated by the fact that it's not going to cost you a fortune. I will fully admit I'm not anywhere near the standard as a brewer of people like Richard Williams or even Andy Thomason or Chris Harry Brew. Nowhere, and they are people, or Andy and Chris, who have taken homebrew into a commercial setting, which is sort of what I'm trying to do. I do need to do a video trying to explain why my brewery is called the Ale Chemist, my background within the world of health, and why it's important for me to try and reclaim some of the positives that may be found in alcohol. And I've got sick to death of this constant alcohol is bad. And I think the breaking point for me was after a big government press release where they said, we've revised the amount of safe limits, safe units that you can drink during a week. And alcohol's bad and you're going to die in a gutter and everything. And then after that press release, they all went to a lunch where they was all drinking 80 quid a bottle Chateau La Petite Bite. Probably don't Google that. And just the hypocrisy of it just really pissed me off. So I think, especially after COVID, there are a number of positives to be derived from brewing beer, if only in terms of the social impact of, and whether that's online or even kind of, just going to the pub once a week or whatever. People have forgotten how to go to a pub and have a conversation with someone. People aren't going out like they used to. So online stuff, I mean, there's a thing, BrewTube, where more serious level home brewers, there's a couple of Facebook groups, one of which, if it was newspaper, it wouldn't even get hung in the toilet. But there is one, if you're into Facebook, called BrewTube, which is slightly more serious and more fun, more community. I suppose that's the term I'm struggling to convey. That, especially throughout COVID, was essential for many people. Social isolation throughout COVID and all of the various lockdowns, rule of six. You remember the rule of six? Charlotte got stopped driving into work to be asked why she was on the road, all that sort of thing. We haven't recovered from that, and so I need to do that video about why, what I want to do with this place as a club, what I want to do with the brewery, why I think it's important to have like patient brew days or offer other brew days for people who just need to talk. And the benefit of being able to do it with this kit is that it doesn't look like a highly scientific kit. It looks like what it is, Heath Robinson knocked together, even though it's knocked together by Chris and myself. It's more accessible, and people don't realise, if you say, do you want to come and do a brew day? Oh yeah. If you say to someone, look, would you like to come and have a chat or have a couple of hours counselling session, they go, oh no, I'm right, I'm all right, I'll get over it, I'll be fine, be right. That's what I say, be right. But once they're here for a brew day, and I've done it with patients and colleagues and friends, you've got a lot of downtime. So you've got, while your mash is mashing, you've got a lot of downtime. So you've got at least 40 minutes having a chat. When you're boiling, depending on how long a boil you're doing, you've got an hour-ish where you're not doing anything other than maybe chucking some hop additions in. So that's downtime where people are then they then have license to talk about some of the things which might be important to them. And we don't. We think we do. We think we talk, but we don't. We should. We ought to. As part of the support groups that I've been running for all these years is about being able to express how you feel. And I don't know if you remember a couple of videos back when this place was full of car bonnets and things for this Bangers and Cash charity event, where the bonnets of 21 cars were decorated by local artists, and this one caught my eye mainly because it's been a sort of unwritten slogan for our group, even with a little bit of gallows humour, go your own way. But it's not necessarily about how you shuffle off this mortal coil. It's even for whatever you're facing in life, whether you've got a terminal condition or not, go your own way. It's about finding your own path, and not necessarily just following the well-trodden path. Just find your own way. Go your own way. So I bought it. I bought the road sign that goes with the bonnet. I didn't get the bonnet. It's about 400 quid. This was 175. But I just thought, it was a valuable project that it's supporting. And I'm gonna approach the artist and say, do you mind if I use it as a beer can label? I don't know. She might say, I don't know. We'll see. But that's that. So yeah. Sorry, I'm banging on a bit, aren't I? So I'm going to do a few brews into the larger Firmzillas, and then these larger kegmenters I think I'm going to use as mini bright tanks. So I'll have from this kit into these, and then from the bigger kit into the large 1-barrel SS Brewtech. And again, you know, just as an example of where homebrewers, I think, excel in stuff like this, or where I am excel, people like Andrew Lynch, who he's an SS Brewtech head, but he's also developed his craft beer pie, so he can automate his entire system. Now, kind of, you know, this is where homebrew meets and sometimes excels what a lot of commercial brewers are doing. So, yeah, I'm not going to have much space left soon, am I? If you found this interesting, looking through the stats on Mr. Google, it says, not Mr. Google, Mr. YouTube, it says that most of the people who view my rubbish aren't subscribed. So please, smash the subscribe button and push the like and ring the bell and stuff. Sorry, I should know this off by heart by now, shouldn't I? And hopefully the next video might have me in it, and I'll try and explain why I called the brewery Ale Chemist. And I might I sent a lot of those packs out yesterday. So by the time this video goes out, I might start getting some feedback. It's more to test the canning rather than the content, but I think the content was valid as well, and there's a lot of good content. So exciting times, definitely exciting times, scaling up into big brewery. I mean, it's the same process that you would do as a home brewer, except things get bigger. Like, you know, some of the filters get bigger and the pumps get bigger, as does the risk of buggering it all up. Just to close, strange day today. Those all fell over in the back of the lorry, and then I went to see a consultant about my arthritis, and I'll just leave you with a quick picture of my arthritic fingers. And I mean, he was a nice enough guy, hand specialist. Basically, this fuck all can be done. Could either fuse the joints or replace the joints, but then there's no strength, or, you know, steroid injections, which, yeah, I don't want to go down that route. I manage the pain. It's the problem is the dexterity and articulation and grip. You know, I reckon that's about as grippy as I can get. So yeah, it's something that I think everyone with that sort of condition, osteoarthritis as mine is, it's something I think you just learn to deal with, just learn to live with, which is what I'm just going to have to do. Yeah. So there we have it. Sorry, I've banged on for a little bit. That's 20 minutes of your life you're not going to get back. So, until next time, whatever you're doing, do it safely. You take care of yourself and those you care about. Cheers.
So what's happened to that twat David Cameron who called it on? Let's be fair.
I think you're referring to our former Prime Minister.
Yeah, but how comes he can scuttle off? He called all this on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has no regrets.
Where is he? He's in Europe, in Nice, with his trotters up. Yeah. Where is the geezer?
Thank you very much.
I always hated that prick.